Okay folks, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be tying up a Cascade variant. It's called the Sunburst Cascade. So just add on my thread as always, and for the tag of the fly I'm going to be using fluorescent green floss. So just going to use the weight of the bobbin to secure some floss on there. As you can see, I'm using white thread, which will really help bring out that green colour. I would never use dark colours whenever I'm using a bright floss. Okay, then we just tie in the floss. And a couple of turns here just to make it really stand out, and then a few turns to secure it in. Okay, then I'm just going to cut off my tie or my waist ends. And then before we get onto the tail, just going to put on a little bit of varnish. So this is Rimmel 60 seconds, which dries, as it says, in 60 seconds. So it means I don't need to do loads of prep. I can just continue on tying. Okay. Just use a wee needle just to take off any excess. Okay, and then when that's drying, you'd prepare the tail. So the tail's in two parts. So it's bucktail. And given the name of the cascade, it's Sunburst. So that's your Sunburst bucktail. Hopefully you can see the difference between the Sunburst colours and the yellow colours towards the top. And this is still a very pale Sunburst. And then it's a very orange colour. But what I use is this is hot orange. And then I just use the bottom fibres where you've got the natural colours coming in. And I would use those. So I've taken a bunch of each of those. And I put in my hair stacker. I've tapped it a few times and now I've got them all lined up. You can pre-make a bunch, but this time around, because I'm only tying the one or two flies, I've just lined them up like that there. Okay, now I've got enough here, probably do 2 or 3 flies. I'm going to take enough out to do this fly. This is size 10 hook, so for me anyway, it's quite a big fly. Okay, and the length of the tail is entirely up to yourself. I like to do about twice the length of the shank, 2 or 3 times the length of the shank, no more than twice the length of the hook. Okay, and then I'm going to just pinch and loop that on very lightly. Applying little to no pressure basically. Last thing I want is for that bucktail display. Okay. In fact, I'm going to put out a few more fibres. I think that's probably going to be a bit of an overdressed tail. Okay, then go back onto the tail. And what I've done there is I've secured that in. I don't know if I can find the super glue. I've secured that in, but I haven't applied any pressure. If I put on pressure, it'll turn out to be like a muddler. So put a bit of super glue on, and basically your main holding is going to be your super glue. And there's a couple of thread wraps of super glue will secure that in. Then also you want to put on a wee bit of flesh. So copper is the main body of this fly, so I'm going to put on a bit of copper crystal flesh. Okay, not too many. I got 3 strands there. Okay, cut them off so they're no more than the length of the tail. And trim off your excess. And then just start to neaten up there. Okay, it doesn't have to be the flattest of body depending on the body material, but I'm going to use flat braid, so I'm not too fussy in terms of the lumps and bumps. Okay, so I'm going to get some flat braid here. So I have, it's copper, it's a semper fly, it's like a burnt copper colour, lovely colour, really glows in the water. So I'm going to put that on top. I'll secure that in, and then as I run the thread back to the head, I'm going to have some super glue wraps, which will make it even more secure, because there's no rib for this fly. There's no rib needed whenever you're using a flat braid. Okay, and then we'll just start tying our flat braid. Okay, and then just a few turns to secure it in. And then cut off your excess. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add on our wing. So we've got, and this is proper Sunburst as opposed to the bucktail, which wasn't the best down, but this is Sunburst Fox. I'm going to take a section of this off. This is Fox Pelt. Quite long fibres for pelt, so you can see there's quite long guard hairs there. And then I'm going to remove the underfur. You can keep the underfur for dubbing if you want, or just clean up after you. Okay, and then if you want, you can wet your fingers and maybe taper that wing a little bit. Okay, so I want the wing to hit the end of the hook points, maybe even a bit further if you want. Okay, a couple of turns to secure that in, and then I'm going to use a small bit of craft fibres here, or angel hair, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to secure that in using the weight of the bobbin again. Oh, it's a bit messy. Okay. Now those craft fibres then, if you want to just cut them to the length of the wing, they'll blend in really nicely with the wing. And then at this stage, just trim off any excess. Try and neaten up that head. Use a little bit of wax here. Okay, so the next thing, there's two hackles of the fly. So the first hackle is going to be your Sunburst. That's cock hackle. So I just expose the tip, break the tip off, and then put a few fibres out. And secure that in with the wax thread. Bend it back on itself on a couple of more turns. Okay, then just start to blend your fibres back into the stalk, doubling the fibres. I'm going to just do 2 turns for this size of fly. 1, and that's 2. A few turns to secure it in. Cut off your excess, and anything going forward, just go back over that. Add a wee bit more wax to the thread. And then the next one's going to be, it's badger colour, so it's badger hot orange I've used here. Again, the recipe is fire orange. I don't have fire orange, so this will have to do, and I know this will still create a lovely fly. So again, secure that in, double the fibres back over each other again. A couple of turns to give a real secure hold. Start to use the blunt end of your scissors to push those fibres in. And then just start winding on your hackle. Okay, I'm going to do probably 3 wraps of this one. Okay, few Hackle fibres pointing forward, but don't worry about those, we'll get those later on. Then I just trim off my excess. And then just sweep everything backwards. And then next thing I want to do is add on jungle cock. So I have 2 feathers prepared here. Just put one at each side of that hackle. Couple of turns just to see how they look. Okay, and then if you're happy with that, I normally get a wee bit of super glue. And a few super glued wraps. And give you a very secure hold. Next, just cut off your excess. A bit fiddly. Okay, and then I also cut off the thread at this stage because we want to put on another head. Okay, so I have some Glow Bright number 4, which is scarlet, basically a red head. Let's look at a very bright head, a good trigger point. Be deadly for the likes of fresh fish, but also late season fish. Okay. And then just try and do touch and turns as you can. I know it's difficult at times, the size of the thread, but try and do touch and turns to a nice smooth head. And then finish it off with a whip finish. And that's your fly complete, folks. That is your Sunburst Cascade. Hopefully you found that useful. As always, if you enjoyed the video, let us know below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Until next time, thanks very much. All the best.